Oh, wait, hang on. Hey, Caleb.
Yeah, that's what I was asking beforehand. I thought you wanted me to.
Hello and welcome into Mississippi Live Weather, an update as we head into our Tuesday evening. Severe thunderstorm warning for this storm over there towards Monroe County. Looking specifically on that storm, we have a high lightning output showing that this is still a very mature storm. Just taking a look right there behind me, 294 strikes, and comparatively speaking, just about 30 minutes ago, it was right around 100. So this is definitely a thunderstorm that's building in strength. That severe thunderstorm warning in place for Monroe County until 9:30 this evening. Now looking over the last 30 minutes or so, as that has trended further into Monroe County, you can see moving through Riggins and Splunge. That hail core is what we're really watching for, a lot of that severe activity, and unfortunately going to lose this just a bit as it goes over that Monroe County radar. But as we run this track just a bit, I mean, this is not a fast mover whatsoever. So we're talking at about 5 to 10 miles an hour, and so we'll try and encompass a few areas. You see Mormon Springs by 9:36, but overall this is just going to be a electric storm. This is going to be a heavy downpour, and this is also going to be some small hail being produced on this storm. So looking at the latest on our National Weather Service chat there towards Memphis, what we're seeing is that severe thunderstorm warning in effect because of hail right around 3/4 of an inch and wind speeds in excess of 60 miles an hour. Now looking at the latest on our dual pole radar over there in wind mode there towards Monroe County. I mean, you're getting those high wind outputs with a few of those. I mean, just populating a few of those. Let me query this in. As you can see, 20, 30 miles an hour. This is very high up in the air. So what's actually reaching the surface is probably right around 20 to 30 miles an hour. So while it's wind is the concern, this is right over the radar site, so not getting the best visual on that like we would typically want in these situations. But you can see right there the 3D mode, how high those storm tops are getting. We're talking about 30, 40,000 feet in some parts, and that hail core, this purple right there in the center, that's what we're really watching for, the possibility of some small to, let's say half inch to full inch sized hail expected within this. So as of right now, I mean, you're seeing a few of those pixels get over 60 miles an hour, and that was what caused this severe thunderstorm warning to be issued. But still, with close proximity to the radar, this is definitely going to be one that we lose visual on here in just a moment, unfortunately. So as we do this, let's go ahead and put a full storm track on that as it trends just across Highway 6 into the Hamilton and Caledonia area, just doing a longer track on this through the entirety of that warning. You can see about 20 miles an hour, Greenwood Springs 910, Wise Gap 914, Mormon Springs 918, and Flint Hill closer to 937. This is not a fast mover, but this is still an electric storm. We talked about that those storms just gathering onto one of those boundaries, and you see that boundary right there along the outside. It's still hooked on that boundary, so that's what a lot of that instability is coming from, and that's why we still expect that to continue on the strength that it's at further into our evening. So we're talking about that severe thunderstorm warning in effect for the eastern part of Monroe County until 9:30. Getting a visual, this is Smithville, and I'm going to hold it on this camera for just a moment because we should get at least a good visual. This is looking southeast, so this should be right out at the heart of the storm. And with how much lightning output is on that storm, I would not be surprised to see a few strikes. Well, there you go, right on cue. Didn't strike the tower, did it? No, we're good. Okay, sorry. Yeah, so there's the base of the clouds. You can see it right there, those darker clouds up top, that lightning stretching across the bottom. Whenever I was driving back into work from grabbing dinner real quick, I actually saw the lightning, the cloud-to-cloud lightning way high up in the sky. Those cloud tops are significantly tall, and you can see why. I mean, we're getting a lot of those outputs. Now that lightning, you can see that it's just going to be an electric storm. That's the primary part of how to judge the lifespan of some of these thunderstorms. So with this one still producing a high amount of lightning, expected to continue to be on that severe end. So watching this in Smithville, hopefully they're staying safe over there. And let's get another look there towards Aberdeen, looking towards the northeast on that storm. That's even more electric than Smithville was. And you can see a lot of that lightning happening, probably the heart of the storm right there where that hail core is. That is electric. So still about, that was looking towards Aberdeen, and Amory should have a visual on it as well. Just basically all of our North Mississippi Storm Chasers cameras giving us a visual on this storm, and that's exactly why that severe thunderstorm warning was issued. And as you can see, as it's moving in that more southeast direction, they've extended the warning into parts of Lamar County, Alabama. So some of those outputs even higher than what we were reading before, 34, 37 miles an hour, and that's over the radar site as of now. So it wouldn't surprise me to still be getting upwards of 50 to 60 miles an hour radar for what's reaching the surface. Lightning outputs 320, so we're talking about even more lightning, even more electricity, and that's going to show just the maturity of the storm. Still showing about a ½ inch to an inch hail. Now this is way high up in the sky, so what's actually reaching towards the surface, probably melting a good bit before it gets there, but still with this storm, would not be surprised to see at least a few of those small hailstones reaching down into the area. Now this is in place until 9:30 this evening for Monroe County. I'm going to go ahead and check over here to make sure. 9:45 for Lamar County. So there's two different warnings, but encompassing the same storm. So that one towards Lamar County, that's going to be in place for 9:45, and as of right now, 9:05. Probably not going to make it the full 40-minute time frame as it is riding that boundary. But these cells that we usually get, they're very cyclical in nature, so not expecting to be too long-lived. Lots of lightning, even on the back end of that, as it just rolls on through, you're still getting some of those bolts on the north side of the storm. 349 as of right now as it crosses Highway 6 there towards east side of Amory, east side of Smithville, moving closer to Soligent and Vernon, just right on the outskirts of Soligent. So let's go ahead and get one more storm track on this with updated times there. Real quick as it crosses into Bedford, Flint Hill, and Hamilton, and we can encompass a few more of those Alabama towns. So this is a look at some times that are listed right there. I'm going to drag this over real quick. Greenwood Springs 9:13, Bedford 9:20, Mormon Springs 9:22, Malloy 9:32, and Flint Hill closer to 9:39. You can see Flint Hill on the south end of this warning, so still a stretch of a ways away. Not expecting a tornado threat with this. This is just your typical summer thunderstorm where it produces those heavy downpours, lots of lightning, and occasionally some strong wind gusts as well as some small hail. So we're looking at that into Lamar and Monroe County for 9:30 and 9:45, but the entirety, it's quiet everywhere else here in North Mississippi, so if you're outside of those areas, then you can probably sleep comfortably. One isolated shower up in Union County. But I do want to say that it's not been a quiet night for a large part of the world. You can see this earthquake that took place over there in Russia, this 8.8 magnitude earthquake. Lots of activity in this general area, but that 8.8 magnitude earthquake actually affecting us here in the United States. What we're tracking are those tsunami advisories and tsunami warnings. Tsunami warnings currently in place for Hawaii, and tsunami advisories currently in place for the coast of California. So this is looking at a few of those right here. We're just kind of, let me get this situated right here. So zooming in on the specific areas, Hawaii in particular is what we're watching here. As you can see, those tsunami warnings in place, and you can see that in those areas listed in yellow. Just zooming in on that area in particular. There we go. Okay, just expanding this out. So you can see all the islands that are in Hawaii. I know we have a few viewers out there right now, so just wanted to give them a heads up that a tsunami warning is in place, meaning that some of those taller waves are going to roll in. And we actually do have an explainer that we'll show here in just a moment, talking through more details about that. But where the earthquake happened, it basically causes these waves that take place. It's a disruption in the ground, and it shifts that energy up and then it spreads out. And that's why we're getting some of these waves that move across the Pacific Ocean all the way to Hawaii and might even reach the Pacific coast of California as well. So the thing with those tsunami warnings, they're in effect and should hit around 7:15 is the time of arrival we're expecting. Now that's 7:15 their time, not our time, and that's about a 5-hour difference. So expecting that here in the next 3 hours or so, reaching the state of Hawaii and then on into California, which will be closer to about, let's see, what would that be, 2, 3 o'clock? Yeah, so a bit of a ways away still, but enough for folks to kind of prepare and get to where they need to go and be on the safe side. But definitely an 8.8 magnitude earthquake is very significant. I want to go through our graphic here that kind of walks through a little bit of those tsunami warnings. So what you have is you basically have these two plates, these two continental plates that shift together and then causes an earthquake. Well, when that happens, the energy travels upwards and expands in all directions, and you can see what takes place. Those waves. Well, those waves get bigger and bigger as they expand out, just those seismic waves that take place. And so that's where you get those series of waves building, pulling water from the coast. So we actually had an example of this over in Alaska when there was a tsunami advisory issued there as well. When that happened, there was a receding water along the coast, and then that was just basically that drawback from the water because the waves have to come from somewhere. So it's going to be this leading edge that's usually covering that shallow shoreline, but that drawback, that water receding from the coast, building up those waves, and that's where we see those waves move in. Now, this is a very exaggerated example because, as you can see, we're not covering skyscrapers. This isn't, what's that movie?
I think it's 2012.
2012. There's another one too. Yeah, so any of those, this is not going to happen. This is not covering a skyscraper, but you could get some of those larger waves that near the coast and could cover parts of the streets and things like that. So go inland a little bit more than what it's supposed to. So that's what we're seeing. Waves get larger near the coast as energy is forced upward, and that shallow sea floor equals a larger wave. So the further this water is pushed back is a larger wave coming in, and that'll encompass some of those low-lying areas, especially streets, roads, and then basements as well. So multiple waves crash on shore and then spread well inland. So the thing with tsunamis, it's not one massive wave that's just going to sweep over the entire area. It's actually multiple waves that move in a series that start to head inland. So it's multiple waves that we're watching that will start to affect areas of Hawaii, unfortunately, and then some folks in Alaska as well, as that warning is in effect for them too. So those waves just continue to move in, and the distance, this is the crazy thing about tsunamis, is the fact that the distance can encompass hundreds of miles. So in this case, I don't know exactly how far Hawaii is from that Russian earthquake, but I mean, you're talking about more than 500 miles. So that's the reason why they travel hundreds of miles up to speeds over 500 miles per hour. So moving really quickly, and just kind of build over time. So that's what we're watching with those tsunami warnings in place. So we just wanted to update you guys on that storm that we have in place in Monroe County, as well as the tsunami warning that's in effect. We just want everyone to stay safe and stay informed. And one last track on this as it continues to move into Lamar County. It's right over the radar site right now, so some of that imagery is going to be diminished just a bit, but we can get an idea of where that storm is positioned, moving about 15 to 20 miles an hour. Not an overly fast storm, but giving you an idea on those times. 918 Mormon Springs, Bedford 921, Malloy 934, Flint Hill 942, and then on into Star on the southern end of Lamar County there by 946. That's in place until 9:45, and as of right now, there's no notion to cancel that out because it is still at peak strength. I mean, lightning strikes we're talking about right now, 370 still, excluding that storm up there. 370, 379 is what we're watching as that continues to move. You know, they put a southeast motion on that, and that's moving southwest. Huh. So it's crossing Highway 6, Highway 278 right now, but you see the motion. I mean, we're talking more of a southwest motion rather than a direct southeast. So that warning that's moving towards Lamar County, folks in Vernon, folks in that southern end of Lamar County, probably not going to be impacted by this if it keeps on that same trend. But it is following this outflow, so I understand why they did it, because they're trying to think if it back builds just a bit, then we could see some of those areas impacted back there towards Lamar County. But as that's moved about, this is 24 miles over the last hour, so it's moving about 20, 25 miles an hour, so a bit faster than what we had originally. So doing an updated track on that, moving about southwest, that general track, south-southwest, should I say. We're going to up it all the way to about 26 to give a little bit more of a heads up. Mormon Springs right over the top of you right now. Bedford 917, Malloy 927, Flint Hill by about 929, Caledonia 935, Woodlawn 944, Wells 953, Steens by about 954, Ridgeland 955. I do want to say for folks in Lowndes County, not currently under a severe thunderstorm warning, but if this continues to remain at the strength it is, or if it were to strengthen even more, then we would expect that to impact Lowndes County, Caledonia, Steens here within the next hour or so. So we are watching that in more detail. Storm tops not as impressive, I will say, from what it was. Still about 30,000 feet on those, but you can see that those purples not showing up as apparent. Still a decent storm, don't get me wrong, but we're comparing it to just the last couple of scans. So hopefully that's a sign of things to come, and hopefully this starts to diminish, but with it being right over the radar side, it gets to be a little bit difficult on seeing that. But let's just watch over the past few. I mean, you can see where that core was real identifiable. Now, still there, but hopefully on the diminishing trend. That's what we'll be watching heading into the southeast corner of Monroe County before reaching Caledonia and Steens. Sorry about that. So the severe thunderstorm warning for Monroe County is still going to be until 9:30. Actually, let's clear this off for 1 second because I want to see how that's interacting with that boundary out there towards Lamar County. Just getting a better visual on that here. So let's go ahead and see if that's, so you have that little wraparound that's trying to get over there towards Vernon, trying to get just a little bit more east. I really think that's more of an uphill battle. That boundary's kind of feeding into that main part right there. Let me watch this over the last few scans. Yeah, just go the past couple minutes. I want to see how that's interacting. So that's getting further from the boundary. So what this tells me is whenever it gets further from the boundary, that's when it starts its downward trend. So the good thing with this, that earlier that boundary was right attached to it. Now you're looking at a distance of about 5 to 10 miles, which can make all the difference in regards to the continuation of that strong, severe storm. So that's what we're watching. is as it heads further into that southeast area. We should have a good shot of this on Aberdeen as well if we want to get another visual outside as that continues to build southwest. Aberdeen, you're going to be out of the warning. You're not going to be affected by this storm, but you do provide a great visual on this storm. So we should get a few lightning strikes. That's looking more northeast. We probably need to take it more east if we can do that here real quick. Because, yeah, all of it's on the right side of your screen because it's more on that eastern side. This is looking directly northeast. Again, a big thank you to the North Mississippi Storm Chasers providing us a look on these cameras. I mean, what more of a visual do you need? I think I saw the cloud-to-cloud strike right there. So, electric storm nonetheless, and still a strong storm as it's building further into Monroe County. Folks in Caledonia, whether it's severe or not, definitely going to get an electric storm as that continues to move further south and southwest. So this is still looking northeast. Are we able to get it changed?
It's moving.
Okay, perfect. Yeah, just transferring it a little bit more east. Unfortunately, I think we're going to be dealing with the pole whenever we circle this around. Perfect positioning. All right, it's moving just a bit. We'll get a visual on this here in just a moment. But as that continues to move east, or should I say move south, and we'll continue to get a visual on that here in Aberdeen. So getting it shifted over just a bit, we should get a better visual on those storms as they continue to build further into Monroe County, slowly but surely. So, but yeah, unfortunately that pole right in the way. Golly, that is electric. Did you see it on your drive? The lightning up in the sky? I mean, those clouds were towering. And so that cloud lightning, you could see it from counties over. Just as that storm continued to build. So this is just a look at that storm outside. This is looking through Aberdeen, so looking directly east there in Aberdeen. Still having that severe thunderstorm warning in effect. You do see on the right side of Aberdeen or the east side of Aberdeen, so getting a visual right there. But as we transition it more into, looking directly east. This is east-southeast at this point. So the storm should be somewhere right along there. We can get one more strike. Well. It'll come at some point. So we are going to actually keep you guys updated. We're going to keep eyes on this behind the scenes for the very latest on this storm. And of course, we do have our Mississippi live weather broadcast coming up tonight at 10 o'clock for the very latest on this storm, for the very latest on the tsunami warnings, for the very latest on, all the weather going on in the world right now, because it's crazy. It's always crazy this time of year. So we'll keep the latest on our information for you. Let's do one last track real quick so that way folks know what to look for as we head for any evening plans that you may have, or if you just want a visual on what to expect for the rest of your evening. Still taking about 20 or so miles an hour. 921 Westville, Malloy 926, Flint Hill 932. Are we doing one more storm track on this? It's going to extend a little bit faster, because this was moving at about 25 miles an hour or so beforehand. So as that continues to move through the area, we're going to take it all the way through Caledonia. You can see several times listed on your screen right there. So Caledonia, 937, Steens, 952, on into the Forest community by about 959. So there's your times listed there. Going to drag that more on your screen so you can get a visual, but we will continue to monitor this behind the scenes and, of course, update you guys if anything were to happen on this storm going forward. And, of course, all the updates coming on Mississippi Live Weather at 10. We thank you so much for joining us, and we hope to see you back here in about 45 minutes. We'll see you then.